What if I told you that the very beginning of our world wasn't just about the earth, the sky, and the stars? What if the story of the beginning was not only about the universe itself, but about love, about choices, and about the destiny of every single human being? This is the book of Genesis, the book of beginnings, a story of creation, of family, of faith, and of hope that still speaks to us today. In the beginning, there was nothing. No light, no sound, no life, only darkness. And then God spoke, just his voice, and light broke through the emptiness. Darkness was separated from light, and the very first day began. On the second day, he spread out the heavens, the great expanse we call the sky. On the third day, the waters were gathered, the dry land appeared, and the earth was dressed with green, plants, trees, rivers, and mountains. On the fourth day, God placed the sun to rule the day, the moon to shine in the night, and stars scattered like diamonds across a velvet sky. On the fifth day, the waters were filled with fish, the skies with birds. And on the sixth day, the earth came alive with living creatures, wild beasts, cattle, creeping things of every kind. And then, the moment of greatest wonder. From the dust of the earth, God formed a man, and into his nostrils, he breathed the breath of life. The man opened his eyes. He was alive. His name was Adam, but Adam was alone. No creature was like him. So God caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep, and from his side, he created a woman. Her name was Eve. She was not just his companion. She was his partner, his equal, his family. Together, they walked in the Garden of Eden, a paradise full of beauty, peace, and harmony. No pain, no fear, no sorrow, only the presence of God. But in the midst of this paradise, there was a rule, a simple command. Do not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for on the day you eat from it, you will surely die. It was a boundary, a test of trust. Yet temptation entered the garden. The serpent whispered. Eve listened. The fruit was beautiful, pleasing to the eye, and it seemed to hold wisdom. She took it. She ate. Adam followed. And with one act of disobedience, the world changed forever. Suddenly, shame entered their hearts. Fear filled their minds. They realized they were naked, and they hid from God. When God called to Adam, he answered in fear, and the blame began. Adam pointed to Eve. Eve pointed to the serpent, and God spoke judgment. The ground would bring forth thorns, work would become toil, childbirth would bring pain, and death would return all life to the dust. The paradise was lost, the gates of Eden were closed, and humanity stepped into a world of struggle. Yet even in judgment, God showed mercy. He clothed Adam and Eve with garments of skin. He gave them dignity, even in their failure. And he gave a promise that one day the seed of the woman would crush the head of the serpent, a promise of a savior. Even in the darkest moment, hope was planted. Genesis is not only the story of creation, it is the story of God's rescue plan, begun at the very start. Now you might ask, what does this story, written thousands of years ago, mean for us today? The truth is, it means everything. Look around. Families break apart. Temptation surrounds us at every corner. Choices bring consequences. Just like Adam and Eve, we often reach for what looks pleasing, even when we know it's wrong. We want freedom, yet the very things we choose can trap us. But just as God did not abandon Adam and Eve, he does not abandon us. When we fall, he offers grace. When we are broken, he offers hope. Genesis teaches us that though our beginning may be flawed, our story can still be redeemed. In a world chasing success, wealth, and pleasures, Genesis reminds us that true fulfillment is not in things. but in walking with God. It reminds us that every family, every life, every person is part of a much bigger plan. The mistakes of the past don't have to decide the future. Choices matter, but so does grace. And here is the lesson. God created us with love. He gave us freedom. And even when we fail, He offers forgiveness and a new beginning. Your mistakes don't have to define you. Your struggles don't have to be your ending. Just as the world began with God's voice, your new beginning can also start with Him. So the book of Genesis is not only the story of the beginning of the world, it's the beginning of your story. Remember, no matter how dark your past, God's light can always bring a new dawn. This is Genesis, the story of beginnings, the story of hope, and the story of everlasting love.